The Baltimore Ravens are one step away from making decisions that could change the future of the team. With the NFL draft approaching, the pressure is on. What will the Ravens do with their first 3 picks? They have the chance to fix a crucial weakness in the defense and give the team the push it needs to become unbeatable. But will they make the right choices? Time is running out, and each pick could be the key to success or failure. Stay with me until the end and discover how the Ravens can turn the game around in 2025. Go Ravens! Let's be honest. What hurt the most last season wasn't even the elimination. It was the way it happened. We saw a team shining on offense, dominating on the ground, playing with confidence. But when the opponent decided to throw the ball, everything fell apart. And there was no Lamar, no run defense, nothing to stop it. The truth is, the passing defense was lacking, and badly. It was like there was a huge hole in the team, and everyone knew where to exploit it. Now, think about it. If the rest of the roster is performing well, why not focus on what's missing? It's not the time for experiments or to get fancy. It's time to face the problem head on. And that's what the draft is for. The Ravens need to look at this hole in the secondary and decide, are we going to fix this now, or will we watch it repeat again in the playoffs? The good thing is there's no secret here. The passing defense was a weak spot and a story. And the best way to fix this is by bringing in young talent, hungry and ready to make an immediate difference. A player who can cover the field, read the quarterback, close spaces, and scare anyone thinking of throwing at us. The fan who watched every game knows what I'm talking about. Every time we saw a deep pass completed, a third down converted through the air, it felt helpless. It's like the team had everything to win, but was dragging an anchor on its back. And that gets exhausting. It weighs you down. The good news is it can be fixed. It's not like the team has 1,000 holes to fill. It's just one, and that makes it simpler. 3 good picks in the draft, and this defense can be a whole different animal. But for that to happen, the mindset needs to be clear. The priority is the secondary. No distractions. No detours. Imagine this defense tightening up with solid coverage, no space to breathe, forcing the opponent to run where we already dominate. That's when this team becomes a machine. Because when you eliminate the weakness, the rest becomes even stronger. And that's what's at stake now. Fixing the passing defense isn't just important, it's mandatory. Because if we put it off, it will all happen again. And fans can't keep watching such a good team fall because of the same mistake. You know, that kind of player who changes the game just by being on the field? That's Malachi Starks. When you watch him play, you quickly notice something different. He's not just fast, he's smart. He reads the play before it even happens, as if he has a radar on his helmet. And that's exactly what the Ravens need. Someone come in and bring order to the defense. Starks comes from Georgia, a program known for producing tough, NFL-ready players. And guess what? In 2023, he had 3 interceptions, but the most frightening thing was what happened afterward. In 2024, only 1. Why? Because quarterbacks stopped throwing in his direction. That's right. He earned so much respect that opponents just started avoiding him. Imagine having that in our defense. A player who changes the opponent's game plan just by being there. That's priceless. It's not just raw talent. It's the mental impact, the fear he instills. And let's be honest, we need that. A guy who comes in to start, who doesn't crack under pressure, who doesn't need time to adapt. The fans want security. They want to see a ball thrown deep down the field and think, relax, Starks is there. And that kind of confidence isn't easy to buy. That's why his name is on the table to be the number 27 pick. Because he delivers everything we need, reading, physicality, experience, and above all, attitude. And let's remember, the Ravens' defense is already strong against run. That doesn't change. But with Starks, we start building a wall against the pass too. He locks down the deep field and forces the quarterback to think twice. The hesitation from the opponent becomes an opportunity for us. The truth is, Starks isn't just here to fill a spot. He's here to lead. And even though he's young, he plays with the maturity of a veteran. He doesn't shy away from contact, doesn't mess up his positioning, and doesn't disappear in big games. He's the kind of player who raises everyone around him. Putting Malachi Starks in the heart of the secondary is the first step in transforming the Ravens' defense. Because a championship team doesn't just have an explosive offense. It also has a defense that strikes fear into others. And do you think a player like Malachi Starks could really change the way the Ravens' defense plays from day one? Drop a comment if you believe in that kind of immediate impact. Or if you remember another young player who came in and completely transformed the defense. Let's discuss in the comments. If fixing the passing defense is a priority, then why stop at just one player? The idea here is simple. If one good piece helps, two can change everything. And that's why the Ravens need to seriously consider Jacob Parrish, the cornerback from Kansas State, as the perfect choice for the second round. He's the type of reinforcement that completes the puzzle and takes the secondary to another level. Parrish is the kind of defender who doesn't just cover well. He anticipates. In 2023, he had 4 interceptions, which already shows how much he disrupts the game. But the most important detail comes in the following year. The interceptions dropped because offenses started avoiding him. That's respect, that's impact. He did what few can do in college. He became a real problem for the opposing offense. And this kind of player, when he joins a team like the Ravens, fits perfectly. He doesn't need to be the hero. He just needs to do his job consistently. And that, for those who follow the NFL, is what matters most in the secondary. Having players who hold their ground, who don't slip up, who force the opponent to make mistakes. With Starks in the deep zone and Parrish on the outside, the defense starts to take shape. Communication improves, coverage becomes more efficient, and the team starts forcing more punts, more mistakes, more pressure on the opposing quarterback. That's when everything starts to turn around. The offense gets more time on the field, fatigue decreases, and confidence grows. The fan who has seen so many deep passes completed with ease knows the value of this. They know how important it is to have a corner who knows where to be, who doesn't get lost in routes, who tackles firmly. Parrish has that profile. He may not be a media star, but he's a star on the field, and that's what really matters. And here's the thing. Investing in 2 names with secondary in the first 2 rounds isn't an exaggeration, it's intelligence. When an entire unit is underperforming, you don't fix it with a half solution. You go all in. And with Starks and Parrish, the Ravens would show they've learned from past mistakes. Bringing in Jacob Parrish is doubling down on the defense and showing that Baltimore is serious about strengthening the secondary. Because when you have 2 guys ready to play, the rest of the team plays more freely, and the opponents feel it. Not every player needs to come in as a star. Sometimes what the team needs most is someone who complements, strengthens a base, and provides security when the starters leave the field. And that's where Dorian Strong, the cornerback from Virginia Tech, comes in. He'd be the ideal pick in the 3rd round. Not to solve everything on his own, but to ensure there's no drop-off in performance when the rotation starts kicking in. Strong has an important advantage. Experience. He played 5 years in college. That means he's seen it all. He won't freeze when he steps onto the field. He won't get lost in coverage. He knows how to deal with speed, strong receivers, and pressure situations. He's the type of player who, when you need to close out a game, can step in and handle the job. And that's incredibly valuable. How many times have we seen the defense perform well for 3 quarters, only for the nightmare to begin in the 4th, when the stamina runs out? Having someone like Strong on the bench changes that scenario. He comes in fresh, with sharp reads, and holds his ground when it matters most. The fan who watches closely knows how much depth matters in the NFL. It's not just about the starters, but also who comes in during the game that can decide championships. And Strong could be that guy, a luxury reserve, a player who, if needed to step up as a starter due to injury, can maintain the level of play. Moreover, he brings a serious mentality. He's not about making a spectacle. He's about delivering results. He doesn't need the spotlight. He needs a field. And the Ravens need players like that, who contribute without asking for recognition, who complete the system without disrupting the defense. With Starks and Parrish as the pillars, Strong becomes a guardian of the rotation. He provides a team with a safety net. If someone goes down, he steps in. If the game gets tight, he shuts down the space. And in a long, grueling season, that's what separates good teams from championship teams. Dorian Strong doesn't come to shine. He comes to sustain. And in a team that already has top-level talent, he could be the silent name holding everything together when the season gets tough. Good. We're moving on to the fifth topic. But before we continue, I notice you haven't left your like on this video yet. It's really important for YouTube to keep recommending my content to you, and that way I can continue bringing the best Baltimore Ravens content. So go ahead and leave that like. It's free. Thanks. Let's continue. When you have a clear objective, it becomes easy to make the right decisions. For the Ravens, the mission in the 2025 draft needs to be one and only: fix the pass defense. They have a strong team in many areas. The offense is explosive, the run defense is unbeatable, but the secondary, which ranked 31st in the NFL, was the major issue. Focusing on this will ensure that the team is truly ready to compete at a higher level. It's no use trying to solve all the team's problems at once. The draft is an opportunity to reinforce what's most urgent. For the Ravens, that means the secondary. Ideally, the first and second round picks should be exclusively dedicated to strengthening the pass defense. The strategy of making multiple improvements at the same time can dilute the impact of higher picks and leave the real need unaddressed. The 2025 draft is the Ravens' chance to fix a flaw that has persisted for years. A strong pass defense is essential for competing at the highest level, and the Ravens have a team that can contend for titles. But they won't get there if the most vulnerable area isn't fixed. The mission must be clear and focused. No distractions should take attention away from the secondary. The mission now is to build a defense that matches the team's offensive potential. With Lamar Jackson and the potent offense the Ravens have, it doesn't make sense to let a failing defense compromise the overall performance. The first picks need to be strategic, without any distractions. The team already has an effective offensive system and a standout run defense. The biggest gap, without a doubt, is the pass defense, and that needs to be solved once and for all. The pressure is immense for the Ravens not to let this opportunity slip by. Being a one-mission team in the draft means that, while the rest of the roster is already solid, it's now time to focus on addressing what needs the most attention. This focus will ensure that the pass defense is strengthened, which, in turn, will help the team become more complete and competitive. The idea is clear. The secondary must be the top priority. The draft is the opportunity to make that happen. When you have a clear objective, the paths to achieving it become simpler. For the Ravens, the mission now is to improve the pass defense. There's no time to hesitate. The team has already proven they can be dominant in several areas. Now they just need to adjust the pass defense, and the right choice in the draft can change everything. Focusing on one mission is the key to success, and the Ravens are in the perfect position to do this with precision. Making the right pick in the draft, with a single goal in mind, can put the Ravens back on top. Fixing this flaw in the defense will give the team a new dimension, and with that, they'll be closer to achieving what everyone expects: the title. The mission is clear, and the time to act is now. There's no room for error. Focusing on a single mission is the key for the team. If the Ravens get it right in the draft, they can fix their biggest flaw and become a more balanced team, ready to compete for the title. The Ravens' 2024 season was filled with highs and lows, with a playoff elimination that caught everyone by surprise. Lamar Jackson was playing at a high level, but the team faltered when it mattered most, particularly due to a pass defense that couldn't stand up to opposing offenses. This generated frustration and pressure on the front office, which now has the mission of correcting this mistake and ensuring the team is ready for the next season. The Ravens' defense, which was unbeatable against the run, was one of the team's strongest points, but the flaw in pass defense was evident throughout the season, especially in crucial moments. In a league where quarterbacks have the power to dominate games, not fixing the secondary is a mistake that can cost dearly. The front office must act quickly to prevent history from repeating itself, and the 2025 draft will be crucial in this process. The pressure on the front office doesn't just come from fans, but also from the players and the entire team structure. Lamar Jackson and the offense are ready to contend for titles, but without a solid defense, any championship dreams will remain distant. The front office doesn't have the luxury of making mistakes in the draft picks. If the selections aren't spot on, frustration will only grow, and the team could lose a chance to make the most of its QB's prime. The front office's mission is clear: solve the pass defense issue. The team already has a potent offense, but without a balanced defense, it will be impossible to compete at the highest level. The draft picks must be aimed at strengthening the secondary and bringing in players who can contribute immediately, especially in the early rounds. There's no time for risky bets, and the pressure for results is immense. The 2025 draft is a unique opportunity for the Ravens front office to correct course. Making the wrong choices could have devastating consequences for the team's immediate future. The fan base is holding high expectations, waiting for the front office to make the right decisions to make the team competitive in a balanced way. The pass defense needs reinforcement, so the team doesn't continue to suffer from this weak spot. With the responsibility to act quickly and correct such a significant mistake, the Ravens front office must be surgical in its decisions. There's no time to experiment. The team needs practical, effective solutions. The pressure is high, but it's also a golden opportunity. If the choices are made wisely, the team will be ready to take the next step and fight for a title. For the Ravens, there's no other option but to get it right. The pass defense needs fixing, and that starts with accurate picks in the draft. The pressure on the front office is immense, but it's also a chance to turn the franchise around. The future of the team rests in the hands of those who make the right choices, and the time to act is now. Now is the time for the Ravens front office to show that they've learned from past mistakes and are ready to make the right choices in the draft, ensuring the team is ready to fight for the title. And if you made it this far, leave a comment saying, "Ravens, the mission is clear." So I know you understand the importance of strengthening the defense and making the right draft choices for the future of the team. Let's continue. The future of the Ravens is at stake, and the 2025 draft will be the key to ensuring that the team continues to grow and strengthen. After a season that fell short of expectations, now is the time to correct mistakes and build a team capable of fighting for the title. The draft choices need to be smart, focused, and direct. With a talented team but a crucial defensive flaw, it's time to act. The pass defense was a weak point in 2024, and this needs to be fixed immediately. With the higher picks in the draft, the Ravens have the chance to select players who will not only strengthen the defense, but also make an immediate impact. Malachi Starks, Jacob Parrish, and Dorian Strong have the potential to become key pieces, not only because of their skills, but due to the need to make the defense stronger and more impenetrable. The impact of these choices will be huge. With Lamar Jackson leading the offense and a more robust defense, the Ravens will have the chance to become an unbeatable team. The draft is the opportunity to fill the gap in the pass defense and make the team even more competitive. Success in the draft could mean a much deeper playoff run, with the team finally achieving its goals. But the impact of these choices isn't limited to immediate performance. They are crucial for the future of the team. The Ravens need a solid defense to sustain the growth of a dynamic offense. Lamar Jackson can't carry the team alone, and the secondary needs to be as strong as the offense. The 2025 draft is a chance to create a balanced team ready to face any opponent. The Ravens front office has a huge responsibility on their hands. Every pick needs to be made with precision, considering the long-term impact. The pressure is immense, but the opportunity is also unique. With the right choices, the team can not only correct the mistakes of 2024, but also position themselves as a favorite for the coming years. The team's future depends on these crucial decisions. In an increasingly balanced league, teams that make the right draft choices have the advantage. The Ravens front office must ensure that the team not only bounces back from last season's disappointment, but also strengthens itself for a bright future. The draft choices could be what's needed to make the Ravens a dominant force in the NFL. Now, with the draft picks in sight, the hope of Baltimore fans is that the front office will not only correct the mistakes, but take the team to the next level. The mission is clear: strengthen the defense, fix the weaknesses, and finally, achieve the title. The 2025 draft is the Ravens' chance to not only recover, but to dominate. The future is in their hands. With the right choices, the Ravens have everything to become an NFL powerhouse. Now is the time to act and ensure that 2025 will be the year of redemption and victory. We've reached the end of another analysis, and now the responsibility lies in the hands of the Ravens front office. The 2025 draft choices will be decisive in correcting the flaws and transforming this team into a true title contender. The defense needs reinforcements, but the foundation of the team is already solid. Now, it's time to act and show that the lessons have been learned. The mission is clear and the urgency is real. The question is, will the Ravens get the picks right and finally overcome their weaknesses? We'll have to wait and see if the front office is ready to take this giant step toward the top. With the right decisions, Baltimore could very well become the next big force in the NFL. The future of the Ravens starts now.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself. See you there, and until the next video, go Flock.